Oh my God, I'm having a bad day, guys. Sorry, I had to delete the last video. Good morning, my patrons. How you guys doing? I got stuff falling this morning. Welcome to another edition of, you guessed it, Joel Davis Media Network. I'm your host, Joel Davis. Sorry that you haven't seen me in a while, and never mind the stuff behind me because we've been doing some inventory, trying to get stuff straightened out from Christmas and stuff for the new year to and merch and stuff that I'll possibly be working on in the future as well, which I'll tell y'all more about it later. I hope that everybody is safe and is okay. We had snow in South Georgia. I will have pictures up on the community page as well. Haven't been on this page in a while. Been trying to build my official Patriot uh, News Live because due to the fact of the matter, I don't really have access to this page to edit like I used to because of what's been going on with all the mess with YouTube. But anyway, y'all didn't come here to hear that. We're going to jump into Trump is back. I repeat, Trump is back. And let me tell you guys, the first the first 48 has been cray cray. Let's just put it to you this way. Liberals are losing their mind. CNN does not know how to actually commentate on the situation. And last but not least, you got every progressive, liberal-minded person acting like a family member has died or family members has passed away. So, first things first, we got to jump into what has happened since day one and go from there. So, y'all know day one, they had the inauguration, which was amazing. First things first, Trump had also invited a lot of hip hop stars. Now, these hip hop stars consist of Snoop Dogg, Nelly, Rick Ross, and some other major names in the industry. Now, you know that hip hop is predominantly lately has been woke for a long time. But since Trump has came back on the scene and exposing all of the stuff that the deep state was trying to destroy him out of, a lot of the hip hop heads, especially the older ones, have been going more conservative and at the same time more libertarian. So these guys were invited to come to the White House and perform at the inaugural ball. And let's just put it to you this way. They got pretty decent reception, and a lot of these guys did not get paid. As far as I've been seeing, none of them got paid. And because of this, you had a lot of Wokians going crazy, saying, "You're selling out. Snoop, you talked all that noise about Trump, and now you just gonna just kiss the ring?" Well, here's the thing. Nelly said it like this. I respect the office. It doesn't matter what my political beliefs are. He is the president. And it is my duty and an honor to perform for him. And Nelly had to perform a lot of his classic hits where he did by himself. One of the ones he did with Kelly Rowland, which was called Dilemma, she blocked him from performing it because she is not a Trump fan. And because she was co-writer of that, she has even made it very clear that if he was to perform that song, that she would sue him in court. So he had to not perform that song. Now, to me, I think that's dumb. I think that's idiotic. And this is the plain example of what we have been experiencing with Hollywood and these progressive celebrities since Trump has taken office. Because they want to create this narrative that Trump's bad. And oh yeah, by the way, if you, especially a minority, support him, you either sell out or you in the sunken place. But besides all that, the inauguration was beautiful. Even with Carrie, I think Carrie Underwood, they didn't have no music. She did it a cappella, sounded amazing. Shout out to Carrie Underwood. That's how you know you're a vocalist. When you have no music and you get the crowd energized with you to sing along and you still hold the note doing it. That's talent. That's what it's about. You know, a lot of these auto-tune fools don't understand that. You know. And then we're going to talk about the priest that prayed for Trump. Oh my God. You know, guys, there is some people that you have to pray for. And this is one of them. Now, I'm going to say some stuff that's going to be very controversial. And I don't care because I stand on business. But I cannot support someone that uses God's platform for propaganda. And I'm going to tell you why. This priest, a bishop, is Mary Ann Boo. Now, y'all know and I know that I've always been vocal that I have never been a major supporter of female bishops, priests, and preachers. I know people say, well, your mom's a preacher. I understand that. But at the same time, I don't support the ones, how can I put this? I don't support the ones before my wife snaps at me. I don't support the ones that try to use propaganda. Let me go put it that way. Now, the difference between my wife being a minister or anybody else that I know in my family that are female ministers, they don't use propaganda. They're going to go by what the Bible says. And they're going to do it as such. I don't support what this priest, a bishop, did. What she did was, first and foremost, she is an LGBTQ plus preacher, which is the craziest thing I ever heard. My bad. I came off crazy. That right there, I'm out on that. Second of all, if you do not like the minister, the person that you're supposed to be praying over or leading worship with, you should not have taken the job. I'm quite sure they told her that you are supposed to be praying over prayer. This is supposed to be a tradition. You got selected. Yes, your whatever your beliefs are, your sexual preference is already a little shaky being the bishop on that. But the least you could have done is focus on the prayer of the president, of him being able to lead the nation. Not trying to throw shade about people are afraid because you have taken over and you need to show mercy to immigrants. No, that is not a part of that prayer. Your prayer is supposed to take him to lead the nation, give him health and strength, and to also do the right thing when no one is looking. Because that's what we need you to do, sir. Not all this extra shit. And this is what made everybody upset. And this is why Trump recently just slammed her this morning. Because it was messed up. That was a wrong thing to do. In fact, to me, I wish somebody should have just cut her mic and told her, please walk off. We do not need you to do any more. You've done too much. Your services are no longer needed. And this is the type of thing that makes Trump, again, look like a survivor in the light of controversy. Because people keep doing this type of stupid shit. They can't let go. They cannot let go and do their job. They got to find something to come at this man about. Something. And then after she did that, you know, and made everybody feel very uncomfortable. This is what Trump released recently, and I think this was on his Twitter page. Because, you know, he still runs Twitter and he does Truth Social still too. He said the following: the so-called bishop who spoke at the National Prayer Service on Tuesday morning was a radical left hardline Trump hater. She brought her church into the world of politics in a very ungracious way. She was nasty in tone and not compelling or smart. She failed to mention the large number of illegal immigrants that came into our country and killed people. Many were deposited from jails and mental institutions. It is a giant crime wave that is taking place in the USA. Apart from her inappropriate statements, the service was a very boring and uninspiring one. She is not very good at her job. She and her church owe the public an apology. And he's right. They do owe the public an apology. Because what she did was horrendous, gross, disrespectful, and distasteful. I would have never done that. If I was a minister and I was especially part of that group, that is not the time or place for me to address my grievances. And if I could not hold my tongue because I'm so triggered by Trump, I would have told them I am not the person for this job. Please find someone else. That's what everybody else has been doing that don't want to be a part of the inauguration activities. Look at crazy ass Big Mike, Obama's baby. What did she do? She didn't come. You know why? Because she don't like Trump. That's the same page that the priest, the bishop should have done. I don't like Trump. I don't want to do this. I'm good. I tell you, man, this right here, that blew my mind. And you should have seen the faces of J.D. Vance, First Lady Melania Trump, his Trump's daughter Tiffany, and his daughter-in-law Laura. If looks could kill, they look like they could have threw darts at that lady. I mean, not darts, dagger at that lady for talking to Trump like that. Because this was a very important day. You know what I'm saying? This is a very big deal. This is supposed to be a prayer. I mean, this is crazy, man. But anyway, we're going to talk about some of the executive orders that Trump has signed in the last 48 hours that's got everybody going crazy. Y'all stay with me here. Let me look these up right quick. So we're gonna talk about the executive orders that Trump signed in his first day of office. That's got everybody's talking and wondering, oh Lord, what did we get ourselves into? So, first things first, let's talk about the immigration executive order. Now, the immigration executive order is basically how he's going to fund this mass deportation and how he is going to get them out of the country. Now, not to mention, oh, and give me 1 second, guys. I'm back, guys. I had to talk to the wife right quick. But anyway, getting back to the executive orders. First things first. He has declared a national emergency at the Mexico border. So to declare a national emergency, this is what his grounds are on that. He's talking about the cartels that is coming into our country illegally. And that's why he's got the National Guard over there at the border now. That is Tren de Agua. If you don't know who Tren de Agua is, that is a gang that started in prison in Venezuela. And they have came to the U.S. and have literally try to destroy our country with all of the drug paraphernalia, crimes and stuff, and they even been doing a whole lot of theft. Not only just in the west side of the United States, but also on the east side as well in New York, and they even was the ones that broke into the apartment in Colorado. Now, what Trump has done is he also suspended the U.S. refugee admissions program, which is called resettlement, and he's going to wait about 3 months until all this stuff gets settled down and start going through the applicants of refugees and look at who is going to come in and who's not going to come in. They said that nearly 1,600 Afghans cleared by the U.S. to resettle in the country, including family of active duty U.S. military personnel, had their flights canceled following Trump's orders. Now, that's what they said on Exo, and they said Trump also ordered Homeland Security to terminate all category parole programs that are contrary to the policy of the United States established in my executive orders, including those for refugees fleeing Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Venezuela. Now, the reason why he's doing that, again, because a lot of these people are not refugees. A lot of these people are not coming from no war-torn area. A lot of these people is lying their asses off. But he has reinstated the Remain in Mexico policy. Y'all know how that word works. You go into the port of entry, you talk to the U.S. Border Patrol Department or whatever. They start the application process, and then they send your ass right back to Mexico, and you wait until you get the infamous call or whatever they tell you to say, hey, man, you good. You can come through. Now, you don't get the call. That means, try again later. You're not coming in our country, baby. And then Trump has empowered officials to repeal, repatriate, or remove any alien engaged in the invasion of the southern border. So that means if you coming through, you ain't trying to go to no border patrol, you just trying to slip your behind into our country, we catch you at the border, guess what? Your ass going right back where you came from. Ain't no we gonna catch and release. It's catch and you go back the way you come from. Have a nice day. Now, Trump has did an executive order to where the birthright citizenship of undocumented immigrants cannot have a child in this country and all of a sudden ride on the back of that for their child to be a U.S. citizen and possibly they get U.S. citizenship. Now, a lot of people are upset about that because you got to look at the 14th Amendment of the Constitution. But here's the thing about that, and I'm gonna say it very straight to the point, is that he is probably going to get a lot of blowback, a lot of suits about that, and he's going to have to reach deep and get a lot of people on board. A lot of people on board That means bipartisanship to reverse or put an amendment on that migrant birthright citizenship. Because to me, I think it is messed up that we have that amendment, and a lot of these migrants do take advantage of that. And it does not only hurt the children in this aspect, but it also hurts us as a society. And the reason why I say it hurts the children, because these children, when they do get here, here they is in limbo. Sometimes they got to go through foster families, and let's say the mother or whatever has to be, go back to their country because of the crime they already done did here, and it's just a mess. And there's a lot of people that's went through that, and I think that right there that definitely needs to stop. I mean, I support it. Now, he also said this also applies to children born to mothers who were lawful temporary residents and fathers who were not citizens or lawful permanent residents. So basically, if the father's not from this country, the mom's not from this country, and she's temporarily here, the birthright thing, they're going to still have to apply for citizenship for the child. Now, let's talk about drilling. He has already expedited the drilling to take place immediately. So that executive order got signed. He also signed for Paris Climate Treaty, which I think was a scam anyway, that we are now withdrawing from that. Alright, now let's talk about my favorite. Executive order targeting DEI in transgender Americans. The one that I know a lot of you been here on. I'm going to say that what Trump has done, signing executive orders where he says that the United States of America is going to recognize two sexes, male and female, on official documents of the government is amazing. And I'm going to tell you why. Because all of this gender stuff that we were seeing, all the stuff that we've been seeing over time, is that Trump has heard the American people. We're tired of the confusion. Yeah, George, whatever, as long as it's within reason, sir. How can I put this? I want to say this the right way. When we started putting non-binary and other as sex, or I prefer not to answer, we have started a trend of where we have ignored mental health as a nation. And I know a lot of people say, well, Joe, why are you saying mental health as a nation? Because to ignore biology that we have been seeing and living by for thousands of years, lets me know that you got to have some kind of mental defect going on. And here's the thing. The thing about it is that when you go and decide to live your life as the opposite sex of what you born, nothing wrong with that. If you're an adult, especially. If that's how you want to live your life, that is fine. But when you go through a medical procedure, y'all know what to do, man. Hold on. Alright. I got that. I'm sorry about that, guys. I don't know what he was doing, but it's all good now. When you get to that point to where you got someone that is literally want to live that lifestyle, but something happens to them medically. When they do your autopsy, or let's say they have to identify your body because of circumstances to where they cannot see your body in your natural state, it's going to come up to what you were when you was born. So if you was born a male and you live your life as a female, your bone structure, everything's going to come up male. When you first enter this world on your birth certificate, ever since the beginning of time of birth certificates been issued, you either was a male or a female when you came out of your mother. Now, I know there's some people that I don't know how this dude keep coming through. But anyway, I know there are some people who will argue with us and say, well, Joel, birth certificates should be able to be changed. No, you can't alter that. That is an event. What is this dude? Yeah, I'm back, buddy. I've been trying to get this person's block. I don't know what's going on. This is the craziest thing I've ever seen. Usually it'll stop, but if not, y'all know what to do. We'll get rid of it in due time. But anyway, get back to what I was saying. This person, these people that keep saying that biology is not true, have really lost their mind. Because with biology, it's been around for years and you can't deny it. And you can't change your birth certificate, like I said, because it is a certified document for birth. So I agree with the two sexes. Now they try to say, well, what about when they go to a male prison and they got tits and stuff like a woman and all these enhancements? Well, you know what? I don't know what to tell them. I guess they better get their testosterone up or something, because, you know, This is what it is. We cannot trust you in a woman's prison because we don't see how that experiment went. What happened to the guy that went in those women's prison up there in California? They had to remove this dude. This dude got, I think he got about 3 females pregnant against their will. I think half of it was against their will. I mean, they had to remove this guy. He was a menace. And he lied, basically what I was getting the gist of it, that he was not a full-fledged, reformed, hormone-taking woman. He was basically bi. But he wanted to be around women because basically the word on the street was he'd have more of a physical aspect with them. Now, let's get back to the women that want to live as men. They talking about, well, these women that are natural women are not going to feel safe. BS. If you are a natural woman and you've been living as a male and you go in a woman's prison, guess what? You ain't going to act the fool but so much because you're dealing with other women. And there's some women that's bigger than you and definitely stronger than you. And they're going to put you in your place real quick if you try to act a little aggressive. So, all this, I'm afraid of getting violated, that's just part of the game of life of prison. If you don't want to experience that, then don't break any crimes. Break any laws and do crimes. Excuse me. There you go. That's how you solve that. Don't break any laws. How about that? Then they try to say that it's also a horrible statement because now they said minors can't get access to these puberty blockers and stuff of that nature. These minors don't need to have access to that. You should not be giving a kid 11 years old hormone therapy because he done told you or you done groomed him to think that he needs to be a girl when he's an actual biological male. Or you got this biological little girl thinking she needs to take these hormone shots and stuff because you done fooled her that she needs to be a male. This is the stuff that I'm talking about that's not safe. And I'm glad Trump stepped in, putting executive orders out there so people will know. This is not the way to go. This is dangerous type of talking points. Now, people want to try to say that he's trying to be false. But he also, on the military, rescinded Biden administration to allow transgender people to serve in the military. And I'm cool with that. Now somebody gonna say, Joel, you must be hate transgender people. No, I don't. I done told you. I come from a family where I have diverse people in my family, transgender, you name it, non-binary, all of that on my side of the family. I'm from the PJs, man. I'm from the hood. I've seen it all. I have all likes of these people in my family. The reason why you don't need a transgender in the military, because let's talk about this. We have seen what the hormone therapy process do to the human body of someone's trying to be opposite of what they biologically is. There's a lot of changes they're going to have to adapt to. You know, there was a girl talked about one time when she was taking her hormone therapy to be a male. She wanted to live her life as a man. She said all day long she had an uncontrollable urge from testosterone that she wanted to screw anything that came by. She was sexually turned up. She said she don't know what it was. Like she was turned up. She couldn't unwind for nothing. And she was aggressive. She had this aggression like she had to do something or be with something. Then there is males who take the hormone therapy to be women, and said that they was experiencing all types of sadness, different emotions that women deal with on a regular basis but know how to handle. See, we as men, we don't have a multi-track mind like a woman. A woman can compartmentalize all her emotions. They can. They can compartmentalize all of their emotions because God has designed them that way. That's how women can cry 1 minute, get it together, laugh, talk, and move and proceed on. We as men, when we are depressed, we're depressed. And that's another thing that will hold up the mission. Because if you got someone that's going through all of that hormonal stuff, you can't have them out to sea to do the mission to protect the U.S. of A. What if they have a meltdown in the middle of shooting in the time of war? They are a risk. They are a liability. They are a liability to their people. Same thing with a female. What if she, trying to be a male, got so much testosterone that she's thinking on testosterone and adrenaline instead of thinking strategic? I mean, these are the things that can get us killed and no one's not talking about. Well, you shouldn't do that. It's not fair. And you can't have these people on shore duty or by a desk, because then they're going to say that you're being biased. So I'm glad Trump rescinded that. We don't need that. You want to do all that trans stuff, do it on your own free time. You want to dress up or be a woman, do it on your free time. Don't do it at the cost of iodine. And if you really want to do it so bad, then do it without your little hormone blockers or whatever you're trying to do. Oh, yep, that means you're going to get extra, you want to save extra hard with the 5 o'clock shadow. I don't know what else to tell you. Because we as an American people, we don't have time for it. I mean, that's just facts. We don't have time for it. We got to protect the U.S. of A. And if you're not on board with that, that's just what it is. Now let's get into the DEI part. The diversity, how they say that? Diversity, equity, inclusion. That's what it is. Bruh, we already diverse. When you go into the military, and I remember when I went in 05, everybody was diverse, bro. I'm just being honest with you. We had all types of people of life, okay? I wish I did too, brother, but I don't on this channel. But that's why I say follow me on my other channel, the Official Patriot News Live. When I was in the military, bro, we all were diverse. There were people of all walks of life, of all colors, of all nationalities. And we had one goal. And that goal was to get through boot camp and to serve our country. Everybody had different talents. Not everybody could be a leader. Some people were good at being a follower. Some people were good at doing other types of leadership in our division. There was one guy I knew. We called him the second in command of ARPA. The boy could really sing. He could sing his behind off, and he would lead singing our cadences. We had one guy that was, they call a yeoman. In the military and the Navy, that's a secretary of your division. Yeah, that's right. That's like your secretary / HR, your admin. These are people that store important paperwork. This dude was good at paperwork. He knew how to keep it together. Okay, I appreciate you, Coco. What else I can remember in the military when I was in with diversity? When we went into training, I was a cook in the military, but I also had to learn how to shoot and do all the other things. But there was people that I knew that were not good at shooting certain weapons. There's a guy I knew, he wasn't good at shooting a pistol, but he could shoot a rifle. He could shoot the good shotgun real good, and he could hit the heavy 50 cal that was attached to the submarine. I mean, there's just some people are just good at certain things, just like certain divisions when you on submarines. We got a group of people called the fire control group. The fire control group are the people that fires the torpedoes and stuff. They're good at their job. They know how to target make sure that torpedo gets to that target. And you got your torpedo man that loads the torpedoes up, repair on the torpedoes. Then we got these people called missile techs. These are the people that fix on not only the missiles that's on the boat, but they also know how to strategically make sure that they put warheads on foreheads, as we would call it. So the diversity has always been there. See, what DEI really was to try to make sure that you always had a person of color or an indigenous cultural person in a spot. But the people that they were picking were not suitable for the job. Because not every person of color is good for a job. And let me break that down to you so nobody won't think I'm being racist. Not every black person can rap. Since we want to do stereotypes, that seems like that's the only reason why I get to people. Just because you see a black dude and he bobbing his head, yeah man, I like this beat here. Let me spit something real quick. Doesn't mean that they can really flow. You might be like, oh my God, what is that? That don't sound good. But he looked like he could do it because the way he was bobbing his head had you pulled in because he said a couple of rhymes that that is popular on the radio. Same thing with a white American. Just because I see a white guy riding around a BMW and nice house and nice cars, I can't be like, well shit, I know that motherfucker got good credit. He probably might not have good credit. His credit may be below a 550. Well, then how he got all that stuff? So many numerous ways. But I'm not going into that. I digress. So with that being stated, not everyone is designed to do certain positions. We only got 13% of black people in America. I want you to let that sink in. Out of that 13%, a lot of black Americans don't even fuck with corporate America. And if they do fuck with anything close to corporate America, it's the military. And when it comes to the military, a lot of these roles, a lot of black folks are not eligible for because they don't meet the requirements. But because we don't want to look racist in America, we allow this DEI bullshit to be our guide. And look where it got us. Because Trump had to reverse and fire supposed to be one of the most historical what's his name? What's that lady name? Of the branch. I want to say the Coast Guard, the Commandant of the Coast Guard. And let me get her name right quick. It was Fagan. It was old Fagan. The lady name. I forgot her name. Linda Fagan. So Linda Fagan, she been there for 40 years. She was supposed to be the commandant of the United States Coast Guard. When she got hired, we were told that she had all this experience. She was going to get involved and stop all of this crime, and she was going to do her job. But we also was told what she was going to constantly focus on DEI in the Coast Guard community. And then they had that infamous Congress meeting, or Congress hearing, where she had to explain what she has been doing with Homeland Security. And that was back here last June. She came up looking like a damn deer in headlights. She couldn't tell you what they were doing. Every time you ask her a question, refer to my staff, they have notes. Your staff have notes, lady. You have a hearing you were supposed to answer to. You should be knowing what is going on already in your head. You should have been so on point that you don't have to look at those notes. You can tell when this went down and that went down. The only thing they would have been trying to hunt you in is a lie. They didn't find you in no lie. They just found out you was not involved at all. You let an assault that happened before you got there since 2018 not to even be exposed. Who does that? That's insane. You can't do that. You are supposed to come in as the commandant, and you're a woman at that. You're supposed to get answers on that. Expose it. Transparency. But I guarantee you can tell me how many black people you promoted or Hispanic people you promoted. Thank God Trump out her. I'm so glad he told her to go. I am so glad. Because that right there is the biggest incompetence I've ever seen in my life. And this is why nations were laughing at us. Because we show weakness by letting a person lead one of our most important military branches because she's a woman. Man, stop. I'm telling you. Now, they also got mad because Trump pardoned the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers. Now, if you don't know who they are, these guys were very instrumental in pushing the America First agenda about Trump being for the American people. Both of these people have black membership in their groups. In fact, the Proud Boys was started by a black Puerto Rican, Enrique. He is the founder. But remember now, the Proud Boys is racist. But they were founded by a black Puerto Rican. Let that shit sink in. Oath Keepers got a bunch of black affiliates into their movement. So these people not racist. These people just wanted America to be put out first for a change. Now, he gave 1,500 of those full pardons. Now, before we get into that, a lot of people was upset because Trump gave J6ers pardons. But nobody's not talking about how Biden gave his whole family a pardon. How he gave Dr. Fauci a pardon. And all these J6 community committee people a pardon. A pardon. I'm telling you now. Because Coco T, to talk about that would admit that we are for change. But anyway, Trump gave 1,500 pardons out immediately, while, like I said, Biden pardoned his whole family. But this is where I say Biden messed up on that. Do you know just because you got a pardon from that type of situation that you still can be grilled in a court of law to expose the truth? If Trump really wanted to have a hearing about where the money been going, it's a wrap. They would have to admit that they've been giving money to Biden. And that is big facts. Now, y'all know TikTok got its 75-day extension. Everybody excited. I told y'all Trump was going to save TikTok because TikTok is actually one of the platforms that actually elevated people to go out and vote more, especially the young people, because they actually showed Trump in a whole new light. And yeah, definitely got to save TikTok. Now, people are hearing that he also signed to rename the highest mountain in Alaska from Denali to Mount McKinley, which is pretty cool. And changing the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. What's up, King's Refuge? Your boy back, man. I'm back. So that is, I think that's a cool thing. And right now, I think that the radical left is having a fit because they never thought that Trump was going to come back and be so aggressive. See, Trump is on fuckaroundandfindout.com. That's what he's on right now. He played nice for as long as he could. But when they started slandering this man's name, messing his livelihood up, and aiming at his family, all the gloves are off. This version of Trump we're seeing here is the asshole version of Trump. He is not going to sit there and be bullied, pestered, or anything on this go-round. And that is facts. Yep, he did pardon Ross. Ross is good to go of Silk Road. And I'm glad he pardoned that because, man, I mean, Silk Road was ahead of its time, but people are getting access to these illegal dealings, whether it's from overseas or not. But anyway, thank y'all for hanging out with me. It was glad to tell y'all what's going on. I may be on tonight. I don't know because of how everything goes. But please, like, share, subscribe, support the channel. We love you guys. Until then, I'm out.